Gentlemen, ladies. Hello. It's Takar Zoo. Let's build knowledge for my future self today. First part, speak with confidence. Introduction. When you hear that you need to do public speaking and give a presentation in front of someone else, what happens? Do you get excited and ready to show off all of your speaking skills, or do your hands start to sweat, your heart start to pound fast, and you get nervous? If you are like most people, then the latter probably describes you, and anything to do with public speaking is not fun in your book. Never fear though, anyone is able to improve their public speaking skills with a little bit of work. As you will see in this article, the steps to becoming a great public speaker are not hard or a bit secret, they are there for everyone to enjoy. We will walk you through these steps and make sure that you are ready to take on the world and improve your public speaking skills. To speak in public, you do not need to be born with the gift of gab or naturally be good at it. Sure, some people do seem to possess these skills, and that can be frustrating to those of us who may have to work a little harder. But even if you are horrible at public speaking and have struggled with this for years, the simple tips in this article will be there to help. When you are ready to take over your public speaking skills and are ready to impress everyone with your knowledge and expertise of a topic, then take a look at this article and see just what steps you need to take to help improve your public speaking. Chapter 1: Speaking plainly but effectively, the key to success. One of the first things that we need to work on when it comes to public speaking is to figure out the right way to get the message across. While there will be some variations in how you do this based on the audience and the topic that you need to discuss, there are some general rules that you are able to follow, regardless of the situation. Many people who get into public speaking think that they need to be impressive all the time or no one will listen to them at all. They want to use big words and complex thoughts to get the point across. But this does not work all the time. It can make it hard for the audience to figure out what is being said and may ruin the message. Plus, when you are trying to be impressive, rather than focusing on the message at hand, you may get in over your head, which will make you more nervous than before. Instead of worrying about all of that fancy talk and big words, it is time to take it in the other direction. Speaking plainly is going to be a more effective tool to getting the message out to the audience you are working with. This doesn't mean you have to dumb down all of the information that you are presenting. It simply means that you can work with plain language and find that it is more powerful than some of the other options. If your ideas are important, you should not try to hide them behind a veil of words just to sound impressive. You can use all of the fancy wording that you would like, but if the idea is hidden, no one is going to notice the great ideas. Some of the ways that you can speak plainly, rather than letting the speech get in front of the ideas, include: honor the idea. Being able to speak plainly is going to start and end with your ideas. No matter what the main idea of the speech is, you need to make sure that the idea is front and center and let that do the work for you. Do not ruin all of that work by making it look fancy. A good idea can stand on your own. Try not to soften the idea either. Using things like think, feel, and believe can make the idea look more like an opinion instead and can make things harder to share with others. Research the idea and then own it during the presentation. Be yourself. When you are giving a speech and working to use all of the fancy information and words, it is because they are trying to appear to be something they are not. This can be smarter, better educated, more professional, cooler, or something else. This causes them to hide behind their real self and act in a different way. This is going to appear a bit odd when you give the speech and can make the audience focus more on those bad actions rather than the message that you are giving. Use the shorter word. Big words can sound impressive, but sometimes they will hide the true message that you are trying to share with others. Rather than letting that happen, you will need to pick the word that makes the most sense for your needs. When you have the option between two words, it is always best to go with the shorter one. That will ensure that your message is not hidden behind some of those big words and can be so much better for the message, plus easier for you to remember. Cut down the description. There are times when you will need to use a description, but there are times when the speech giver is going to try and add some more oomph to the story. Adding a lot of adverbs and adjectives around the idea is going to just bury it in details that are not that important. It is usually best to just cut to the chase and save the descriptive language for something else. Your focus is on the message, not on all of the extra stuff that is all around the idea. Communication is your top priority. Sometimes when you are speaking or writing, you may find that there is an urge to step the language up. You may look at the work and feel like the language is not pretty enough or that the audience is not going to enjoy it as much. This means that it is working though. Unless you are working through a ballad or a poem, you need to keep your first priority to communicate the message, rather than make it all flowery. Add the you and me. Another way that you may be trying to use language in order to hide some of your ideas is a vain attempt to sound impressive is to use an impersonal and distant tone. While there are some forms of writing where you can do this, such as journalism, you will find that this is not the case often when you are doing public speaking. To change this around a bit, you will need to add some I and me to the mixture. This is going to be a great way to make yourself seem more impressive and will help the audience to feel like they are being brought into the conversation more than anything else. You will see that it makes your conversation seem more human, which will engage the audience more than before. You can also engage the audience more fully when you speak directly to and about them instead of using one or we in the sentences that you use. Instead of trying to make the speech done in third person, you should address them directly and see what the difference is between the two speeches. You can choose to work with a recorder to see what the difference is in the two speeches before you make a decision. While it is tempting to spend your time working with flowery language in order to get others to listen to you and be impressed, this can hide the message and will not help you to really showcase your ideas and what you want to say. Keeping the language plain and simple will not only help you to showcase your idea, but can make it easier to do a great speech where you do not need to remember all that flowery and complex language. Chapter 2: Research and Plan, then research some more. Now that you know it is important to keep the language simple when it comes to doing your speech and public speaking, it is time to work on some of the research. If you do not know a lot about the topic you wish to speak about, then you are going to be nervous. You may worry that you are talking about things the wrong way or that someone will ask you a question that you do not know. People who are experts in their topics for the speech are the ones who tend to do the best. They have a wealth of knowledge to draw from and will feel more confident than others who may have just looked up the information a little bit and called it good. This means that you will need to go through and do as much research as possible about the topic before you ever think about what to put into the speech. Think about a time when you got into a conversation where you did not understand the topic that well. Maybe you had never heard about the topic before or you were just not familiar with it at all. You may have been able to listen quite a bit, but if someone asked your opinion on that topic, you would have been lost and have nothing to say. That is the same thing that will happen if you do not research for your speech. You may only have a basic knowledge of the topic and you will be limited on what you are able to share with someone else. You may even have a stilted type of speech because you are trying to turn that little bit of information into a long speech to help you look impressive. That is not ideal, as most of us can agree. Now we can look at it going another way as well. When you are in a conversation and know a lot about the topic, are you the one who is doing a lot of listening or are you the one talking? You will be able to answer a lot of questions about the topic and can keep up with the conversation, leading it, directing it, and having fun in the process. You can even teach others a bit more about the topic because your knowledge is so vast on that topic. This is a much better way to go into your public speaking role. Knowing as much about the topic you wish to present is going to be important, and surface level research is not going to do it. You should do as much research as possible in the amount of time that you are given. If you have a lot of time, then your goal is to become an expert in the field, getting as many points of view and references that you can find. If you are short on time, you can still do some research to find out as much as possible. Your goal is to learn as much about the topic as possible. Even if you do not add some of that information into your speech, you will find that it can be useful along the way. It will help you to answer questions and to go off topic if that is necessary. It never hurts during the presentation to have too much knowledge than too little. Knowledge is power, and power is confidence. The important thing to remember here is that knowledge is going to be powerful. It will help you do a better job when it comes to preparing the speech that you would like to do. Many people assume that they are going to be able to do a few minutes of research and then be ready. But your goal is to be one of the most knowledgeable people in the room about that topic. This makes sense. No one goes to a speech or a presentation about topics that they already know a lot about. They are there to learn more and to see what you are able to teach them about that topic. You need to have the knowledge to show them that they can trust you and listen to everything that you have to tell them. So, take your time researching. Knowledge is your power when it comes to doing a presentation. The more that you know on a topic, the easier it is to give a long speech without rambling or restating the same facts over and over again. You will have plenty of topics to utilize, and that is powerful when you prepare and give a speech. You may not use all of the facts that you garnered throughout your research. If you do a good job with the research, you will likely have a lot more facts than you will have time for, which is fine. This allows you to have some background information if someone asks a question, or if you are given more time to dive into something later, without worrying that you are all out of material. It is always better to have too much information to share than not enough. When you have all of that information available to share with other people, this is going to give you a lot of power. You will have the power to share that information with other people, power to help others learn something, and power to know that you have a ton of stuff that you can share with others if you need. And all of this power and knowledge is going to give you the confidence that you need to do well with your presentations. Confidence is the key to all public speaking. If you are confident in the things that you are telling to other people, you will get ahead with your skills. And the best way to build up that confidence is to do a lot of research. When you are ready to jump on board and start preparing for that big speech, it does not have to be a big ordeal of nerves and other things slowing you down. Instead, it can be as simple as doing some research online, finding some books, and talking to others who will be able to answer your questions. Find out as much as you can about the topic, taking notes on things that you think would be interesting to talk about in the speech later. With all of that research in mind, it will be easier to create the best speech that you need. Chapter 3: The Power of a Pause. When it comes to public speaking, many people worry that when they pause, it is going to look bad on them. They assume that all pauses, no matter where they fall within the speech, will be bad and can ruin all of the hard work that they do. This is just not the truth though. The pause can be a powerful tool when you are giving a speech. A small one gives you a moment to collect your thoughts. Sometimes it gives everyone a breath to think about a thought. When used well, it can even possible that this will emphasize some important parts of your speech. It takes some time to learn how to utilize the pause, but it can be a great tool when it is done well. Pauses are going to be a very important tool when you talk about public speaking. Pausing for a few seconds can allow the audience some time to reflect on what the speaker just finished telling them. It will also give the speaker a few seconds to gather their thoughts, giving them a chance to pay attention to the audience. This silence is not going to be a weakness when it comes to public speaking. You do need to focus on doing them at the right time though. And 2 or 3 seconds is usually long enough to help out with this. If you go for much longer, then it can get a little awkward. With some practice, you will get better at knowing when to place these pauses and how long they need to last. Types of pauses. Now that we know a bit more about why a pause is such an important part of your speech, we need to take a look at the different types of pauses that are available. Some of the pauses that you can consider include 1. Vital information pause. This is going to be a pause that you can use when you have delivered some important information. This gives the audience some time to absorb that information and process it. 2. Dramatic pause. This is a pause that is able to create some suspense and can work well in some speeches. 3. Visual pause. This is the pause that you will be able to use when changing a visual or a slide. This helps the audience have a few more seconds with the slide. 4. Rhetorical question pause. The speaker will ask a rhetorical question and then pause after it. The audience will not answer out loud, but it does give them some time to answer in their heads. 5. Punchline pause. This is the pause type that the speaker can use before and after they make their punchline. It is going to create some anticipation and lets the audience release some laughter. 6. Sentence pause. This is going to be a short pause that helps to when switching from one sentence to another rather than joining them together and can break up some of the monotony as well. 7. Paragraph pause. This is similar to the sentence pause, but will be a little bit longer when the paragraph is done. Helps the speaker to get a breath as well. Pausing is such an important part of your speech. It allows you to slow down and really make your point. It avoids you speeding through the information and makes it so you can catch your breath. We often think that something is going to be wrong if we stop during the speech. But the pause is often much shorter than we think it is in our heads. With a little practice, you will be able to do a pause and see how great they are for enhancing your public speech. Chapter 4. Don't forget about your body language. The next thing that we need to take a look at is the body language. There are so many things that you are able to communicate through your own body language. You can show confidence and that you are comfortable, but you can also turn it around and make you look nervous for the speech as well. Some of the things that you should remember about your body language during the speech includes how to emphasize your point through body language. Open body language is going to be one of the best ways to help you to show the confidence that you would like during the speech. Open body language refers to the stances and gestures that will make you appear more trustworthy and approachable. Keeping the chest open to your audience is going to show that you are open, or having fists that are not clenched during the presentation. This helps the audience see that you are sincere and interested in establishing a conversation with the other person. The first thing to look at is your posture. This is so important for helping you look and feel more confident. When you are insecure or even a little nervous, it is normal to want to shrink in on yourself and try to look smaller. You need to avoid this if possible during the speech. Some of the ways that you can do this is 1. Stand up straight. Slouching looks lazy and makes you appear insecure, which is not a good message during a speech. 2. Push the shoulders back a bit and lift the chin. This will prevent you from hunching over and forces the eyes off the floor. 3. Own the stage. Moving around allows you to own the space and prevents you looking like you want to run off the stage. 4. Try not to stand still behind the podium. This is going to create a barrier between you and the audience. Your hand movements are important too. They can neither help you or hinder you in the process. You can utilize them to put emphasis on some of the important parts of your presentation. Your hand movements need to be able to show trustworthiness and openness as well. This means avoid the clenched fists and try not to fidget or hold the hands in an awkward manner. One way that you can show that you are honest and sincere is to have the palms out and open. And if you do it right, some of your hand movements can be turned into memory techniques so that others will remember some of the parts of your speech better than before. And finally, we need to look at facial expressions and your eye contact. These will allow you to show more of your energy and enthusiasm for the audience to be ready for the presentation as well. Some of the steps to help with this include 1. Smile. Smiles are contagious and it is likely that others will smile back. This is something that you should use, at least at the beginning, to open up the conversation with others. 2. Eye contact. This is a must when you want to present something to others. It will help to acknowledge the person in front of you, shows that you want to build trust with them, and kicks out some of the nervousness that you have. 3. Feel emotions. If you feel nervous, you may want to just focus on having a straight face, but this is not going to help at all. It is good to show some emotion during the speech, whether it is sadness, excitement, or even happiness. You just need to practice the best ways to make this stand out. Some simple changes to your body language will make a world of difference for how well you are able to share your message and the amount of confidence you have. You can even learn how to fake it until the confidence comes in, giving the appearance of being confident, even when you are nervous. Things to avoid. Now that we know some of the great body language skills that you should use to make your presentation better, it is time to learn some of the simple things that you should avoid. These cues are going to be bad for your message, showing that you are nervous or that something else is wrong during the speech. It can even take some of the trustworthiness away if you are not careful. Some of the things that you should avoid with your body language includes 1. Wrong movements of the hand. Using your hands a bit can be helpful to providing a clearer message than before. But if you fidget with them, clasp them, or look nervous, then they will detract from the message too. 2. Crossed arms. This is going to show that you are not enthusiastic about the speech. And if you are not excited, then why should anyone in the audience want to listen in the first place? 3. Avoiding eye contact. It is not a good idea to stare down at the ground and hope that your speech will go well. Instead, you need to look at the audience, moving around to different members of the audience to help you feel more comfortable. 4. Bad posture. Slouching, kicking your legs, bending over, or trying to shrink back into the stage are all examples of bad posture that you can have that will ruin your chances of appearing confident. Learn how to stand up straight with good posture and see what a difference it will make. 5. Touching your hair. Do not touch your hair or mess with your clothes or touch your face a bit. This is going to be distracting as you are talking and will show that you are nervous. Try to keep your hands still or practice some of the ways that you can use the hands in a more effective way instead. 6. Forgetting to smile. Everyone wants to see your smile. It helps you look more calm and happy and can add a bit of confidence to the speech as well. Plus, it is more likely that someone will smile back at you too, which can give you a little boost as you go. 7. Playing with things. When you are nervous, you will often find things to hold on to or mess around with to help you feel better. If you are crumpling up the paper in your hand, or messing with your clothes, this is a sign that you are nervous and can ruin the speech you want to give. Use your hands to share the message if you are worried about what to do with them. Avoid these top mistakes when it comes to giving your presentation and public speaking, and you will not only appear more confident, but you will feel more confident in your delivery as well. Chapter 5. Say goodbye to filler language for good. One problem that a lot of people will have when they are working with public speaking is that they use a lot of filler language in their speech. They will spend the time using ums and so and other noises that will distract from their message and does not help them to get ahead at all. This filler language will take away some of the credibility that you have and can make you appear like you do not have confidence in what you are saying. The good news is that there are a few steps that you can take to help kick out that bad habit and polish up some of the work that you do with your speeches. Some of this includes: think a bit before you speak. Many people focus on thinking while they speak. This has the benefit of allowing them to be more spontaneous with what they say, but sometimes it cuts into the coherency that the individual has. We will use the fillers sometimes to let our thoughts catch up a little bit. While this may not be a big deal when you are in a regular conversation, it is going to look bad during a speech. A good way to reduce some of the fillers is to take some time to think before you speak. If you find that you are not able to think of the words that you want to say, cut out some of the filler words and say something else. Give me a moment or let me compose my thoughts for a minute sound more mature and professional and still give you a moment to think about what you are going to say. When you are preparing a speech, you should think about what you want to say. Practicing it and really knowing the information will make a big difference on how many times you will need to use the filler language. Slow it down. Those who tend to use the fillers the most are the ones who will speak really fast. This is going to cause all of those filler words to increase more than before. An effective way to help lessen the fillers is to slow down. This gives you more time to think in a clear manner and will save a ton of hassle, making you look more professional in the process. Build some pauses in your speech. Another thing that you can do is to build some more of the pauses into the speech. This gives you a planned out time to catch your thoughts. For example, if you are presenting some of your information on PowerPoint, you can deliberately pause for a moment or so between the slides and use this time to compose the thoughts. When you are dealing with a conversation, you can pause and ask something like, "What do you think?" Giving the other person time to talk and allowing you to compose yourself again. This also opens up the conversation a little bit with the other person, getting both sides involved in it and allowing them to feel like they are part of the conversation, rather than just having it be you talking at them the whole time. This can make the presentation so much better. Drink water. If you find yourself at a loss for words and you are getting nervous, it is time to take a break. Keep some water with you during the speech. You can then take a quick drink of the water, adding in a natural filler that is nowhere near as awkward as using all of that filler language. Do not use anything that is caffeinated though. This can make you more nervous and will increase the filler language. A bottle of water is the best in case you drop it so you do not end up with a mess, but any kind of water will do and gives you some of the break that you need. Why is filler language so bad? It is best to find ways to avoid the filler language as much as possible. These words just take up a lot of space and do not add anything to the conversation that we are having. They might as well be gibberish and they appear in almost the same way in the conversations we have with others or in a speech. If you add one or two into the speech, it is not such a big deal. But the problem comes when a lot of the filler language is being used because it will distract from what you are trying to tell the other person. The biggest issue here is that these filler words are going to distract the listener. This can make it hard for the audience to focus on the message that you are trying to share with others. Anything that is going to keep the audience from focusing on that one message that you want to share is going to be a filler word. The more of these that are present in the speech, the more that you will distract the audience who came to listen to you. Since people have specifically come to your presentation to hear you talk and to learn something new, you may find that a lot of filler language is going to lead them to judge you. They will notice that you are nervous or even assume that you are trying to hide something from them. This can make them mistrust the information that you are trying to share. While you are not expected to be perfect in your speech, you should still work hard to avoid the filler language as much as possible. This will ensure that you are able to really portray the information that you want, without someone else judging you or worrying that there is something wrong with the message that you would like to share. By removing some of these meaningless words from the communication, whether you are doing it in a speech or another form, you will find that you instantly become a better leader and speaker. These may seem like simple steps to use, but they are going to make a world of difference when it comes to helping you slow down and feel better about the speech that you are giving. As you practice your speech more and more, you will find that the filler language is going to decrease even more. But by practicing these tips, you can get started on limiting filler language from the beginning, giving you a more polished speech than ever before. Chapter 6: Speaking with Confidence in the Era of Zoom and Other Digital Formats. Check out the link in the overview section for the rest of the story, podcast and articles. Attention to all those who want to improve their emotional intelligence and improve how they interact with others. Level up your confidence speaking in front of people so you can captivate and influence. You'll learn how to get along with others better than ever. From Takar Zoo. Many people worry about public speaking and how hard it is to prepare for a presentation, speaking on Zoom, or interacting with others through public speaking. Fear of judgment and worry about making mistakes can turn the whole process into something that everyone dreads. How many times have you been asked to give a presentation in school and work and actually enjoyed it? If you are like most people, you will feel nervous and may try to get out of it. Maybe you have had a bad experience with a speech in the past and do not want to relive that again. Does public speaking make you nervous? Sweaty hands, beating heart, and nerves up the wall. These can be common symptoms for someone who does not like or enjoy speaking in public, even if it is on a topic that they really enjoy. This can make it hard to even get up to the front to deliver the speech. With one bad experience in public speaking, it is easy for everything to go downhill. You convince yourself that public speaking is horrible and you are just bad at it. Rather than learning some of the tips to make public speaking better, you hide right in and give up on learning techniques and skills that will make your public speaking skills better. If you took a speech class in high school or college, you may have learned some of the tips on how to give a good presentation, but was that enough? Many teachers list out the rules and give a checklist for grading, but do not spend time actually teaching you how to give a speech that will impress. This can leave you questioning your grade and thankful when it is all over, without learning anything of value. Just the thought of having an audience spend time staring at you, judging your words and asking questions that you do not know the answers to can be enough to make your head turn. You want to impress, but may question whether you are able to bring in the expertise and confidence that is needed to make this a reality. The solution. Anyone can become great at public speaking, no matter how their past with communication has gone. Thankfully, we have written an article teaching you the skills and techniques you need to finally give a great speech and impress everyone in your audience. Let me introduce to you. Speak with confidence. Level up your confidence speaking in front of people so you can captivate and influence. Here's exactly what you'll get inside the course. Article. Here's what you'll learn in this article. The basics of presenting with simple words that make sense. How to avoid filler language that distracts from the message. The importance of body language to help you present well while avoiding negative body language that makes public speaking hard. How to properly do the research so you have plenty of topics for your speech, making you the most knowledgeable person in the room. How to use vocal exercises to help with pronunciation and more. The power of the pause and why you should choose to use them in your speech. How to speak on a Zoom or other online medium in our modern world. The importance of practicing to help you get better and better, building up the confidence that you need, and much more. Special bonuses for taking action. Fast action bonus number 1. Point-by-point checklist. View or print this handy checklist so that you can check off each point. It is like a summary of the entire article but in actionable, bite-sized points so that you can successfully get through the course. Fast action bonus number 2. Resource cheat sheet. Deepen your knowledge and learn more with this handy resource cheat sheet. Fast action bonus number 3. Mind map. A quick glance over this mind map and you'll get an instant refresher of all the major points and action steps from the main article. Does that sound good or what? And then all you can read and all you can listen articles and audio posted 8 times a month or more. Of course, you can read and listen to the articles and audio you have posted so far. If you listen to it as an audiobook when you commute, you can learn efficiently. Furthermore, information that can be used may change to the value of things for a lifetime for you. How much is all this going to cost you? You can own this article together with all the bonuses for a mere $5.99. That is a truly incredible deal. Did I mention this article is only $5.99? It's definitely a point worth repeating. You will be hard-pressed to find a more valuable resource. I'm delighted to have the chance to share this powerful article with you. Again, you will receive the comprehensive and valuable insights for only $5.99. Why not give it a try and join? Get instant access right now. Yes, I want instant access to speak with confidence, which includes the following. The main article. Fast action bonus number 1, checklist. Fast action bonus number 2, resource cheat sheet. Fast action bonus number 3, mind map. Regular price, $26. Today only, $5.99. Check out the link in the overview section first. Podcast and articles. To your success. Every person always has the power to change their lives. Today is the youngest day. Let's act with knowledge and grow for the sake of our future self. If you are a gentleman or a lady who says it was good, please give me a high rating and subscribe to the channel. See you soon.